In a land where the stories of British royals light up our screens, a burning question emerges: which brother captures the hearts of Americans, Prince William or Prince Harry? An interactive chart reveals what the nation really thinks, and the results might just leave you wide-eyed with surprise. Even though Americans broke free from British rule on July 4, 1776, our fascination with palace life remains unbroken. The charm of fairy tale weddings, bitter breakups, and heart-wrenching losses fills our evenings with drama and wonder. Isn't it odd that a people who once cut ties with a monarchy still find themselves enchanted by its legends? Think back to that summer day in 1981, when almost 23 million viewers gathered around their television sets to watch the wedding of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, a moment that felt as magical as a storybook come to life. Fast forward 16 years to September 6, 1997, when 33.2 million Americans sat in solemn silence to bid farewell to a beloved princess, her tragic car accident in Paris marking a day of shared sorrow. Can you feel the mix of hope and grief that still echoes in these moments? Erik Carlson, an entertainment journalist, once explained to the Associated Press that keeping up with royal news is like being part of a never-ending reality show. Every twist in the lives of William and Kate, Harry and Meghan, and even Charles and Camilla pulls us in like the next juicy episode, leaving us glued to our phone screens for every morsel of gossip. Who wouldn't want to catch the next thrilling update? A recent poll by a well-known survey group asked over 1,000 Americans to share their views on the royal family, both the living and the departed. The findings are crystal clear: most Americans still hold a soft spot for Princess Diana. More than three-quarters of those questioned have warm feelings for the late Princess of Wales, whose untimely death in a car crash on August 31, 1997, still tugs at the heartstrings. What is it about her that has kept her memory so vibrant? Before Diana tied the knot with Charles in 1981, hardly anyone in the U.S. paid attention to the royals, as historian Alicia Carroll noted in the New York Times. But Diana's presence changed the game entirely, turning a once-overlooked tradition into a national obsession. Here, while our own movie stars and athletes often fall short, millions travel to England every year just to catch a glimpse of a palace that feels as magical as a dream. Think about it: while many flock to see a famous theme park at home, countless visitors cross the sea to admire a grand palace steeped in history. Many Americans continue to admire the late Queen Elizabeth II, with 67% viewing her favorably. When she ascended the throne and celebrated her grand coronation at a famed abbey, a popular U.S. magazine even named her Woman of the Year in 1953. Over her 70-year reign, she helped strengthen the bond between two nations, meeting 14 U.S. presidents, except for one, and making state visits and dinners that still resonate in our memories. Picture President Ronald Reagan in 1983, bursting into laughter as the Queen, with a straight face, joked about the dreary California weather. "I knew before we came that we had exported many of our traditions to the United States. But I had not realized before that weather was one of them." Her clever words and warm presence left an impression that lingers like a soft melody. In today's America, the spirit of Princess Diana lives on through her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry. Among the living royals, these brothers top the favorability charts, sitting just behind their late mother and grandmother. Yet, it is Prince William who edges ahead, enjoying a 58% approval rating compared to Prince Harry's 53%. A friendly rivalry unfolds, a subtle contest that adds another twist to this unfolding royal saga. Prince William even made headlines when he shared a moment with a high-profile American leader at the reopening of a famous cathedral in Paris last December. That encounter was so impressive that the American president is now expected to invite both him and his wife, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, to the White House. A source revealed the president very much enjoyed meeting Prince William in France. He was wowed by him and thinks he's a great guy. He plans to officially invite both the Prince and the Princess of Wales to Washington, though he understands if the princess's health issues might hold her back. The anticipation of this visit adds yet another exciting chapter to the royal narrative. Even though Prince Harry moved to the U.S. with his young family in 2020, he finds himself viewed less favorably by about 5% of Americans compared to his brother. Opinions on Harry and Meghan have largely stayed the same since their move. Roughly 53% say nothing has changed, 14% now see them in a better light, and 18% feel more negatively. This split in views leaves us wondering, can a move across the ocean ever really change the story? In July 2024, Prince Harry stepped into a fresh controversy when he accepted an award usually reserved for unsung veterans. His acceptance of the Pat Tillman Award sparked an uproar, with the mother of a well-known American war hero saying she was shocked that such a divisive figure would be honored when many true heroes were left unrecognized. A petition calling on a major sports network to reconsider the award quickly gathered 76,000 signatures. With tensions running high, one has to ask, what will be the fallout from this bold move? Shifting focus back to the family, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, holds a 52% favorability rating, making her one of the most cherished figures. Her recent journey has been nothing short of dramatic. After being diagnosed with cancer in March 2024, she faced a tough 9-month battle with preventive chemotherapy. Then, in January 2025, she announced her remission on social media, sharing her relief and renewed focus on recovery. Her courage leaves us eagerly awaiting the next inspiring chapter of her life. Not far behind, Princess Anne secures a 47% approval rating among Americans. Despite suffering a minor head injury and a concussion last year, the 74-year-old royal earned the title of the hardest-working member in 2024 by clocking in an impressive 217 engagements. Her tireless efforts and warm dedication spark a sense of admiration. How does she manage to keep her spirits so high despite the challenges? Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, stands at 46% in the polls. Born and raised in Los Angeles, it might seem surprising that only 46% of Americans hold her in high regard, given her background in a beloved TV show. Since stepping back from active royal duties in 2020, both Harry and Meghan have faced mounting criticism over high-profile media events, be it a revealing interview, a candid documentary, or the Duke's tell-all memoir, Spare. These bold moves have sent shockwaves through the royal world, leaving fans on both sides with mixed and often heated opinions. The twists and turns in their story keep the public guessing at every turn. In a heartfelt letter addressing serious allegations within the family, the Queen once noted that recollections may vary, yet reassured everyone that the Sussexes will always be much-loved family members. Royal biographer Ingrid Seward shared her view, saying, "I give a lot of talks to Americans. They all dislike Harry and Meghan. They hate that they let the Queen down." Even former U.S. President Donald Trump has not held back, lambasting Prince Harry for what he called an unforgivable betrayal of his late grandmother, and warning that no special treatment awaits him in America. Trump's outspoken remarks, mixed with his past claims of an automatic chemistry with the late Queen and his praise for King Charles as a really wonderful guy, add fuel to an already fiery debate. Yet, despite these strong words, King Charles finds himself less favored, with only 42% approval compared to Meghan's 46%. When asked about his reign, 38% of Americans said his record would be average, while 1 in 7 thought it would be below average. The stage is set for even more drama in this never-ending story. Looking further into the family, Prince Edward, the King's youngest brother, holds a 37% favorability rating among Americans. Interestingly, he also had the highest share, 46%, of people who admitted they did not know enough about him to form an opinion. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla lags behind with just a 30% positive rating. Her long-standing image as the other woman in Diana's marriage to Charles has clearly left a mark. Shockingly, 37% of Americans hold a very or somewhat unfavorable view of her, a figure that nearly matches the 36% who view Prince Andrew negatively, especially in light of his links to a notorious scandal. During that scandal, more than half of Americans felt Prince Andrew should face serious questions in the U.S., though he eventually settled out of court for a sum believed to be around $16 million in February 2022. With every twist and turn, the royal saga only grows more complex. When all is said and done, 22% of Americans see the royal family as mostly good role models, 11% lean toward seeing them as mostly bad, and nearly half, 48%, view them as a mix of both. With admiration and criticism intertwined in every headline, the next chapter in this royal drama is bound to leave us with more questions than answers. What will the future hold for a family that continues to capture imaginations across the ocean? Stay tuned, the story is far from over.